You know, it's interesting how sometimes people feel ugly, when all they're really feeling is the echo of someone else's opinion they accidentally memorised when they were too young to question it. Isn't it fascinating how quickly we forget that beauty never begged for validation until someone sold mirrors that lie? So let's imagine now you're forgetting all of that. Forget all the rules you never wrote. Forget every mirror that misrepresented you. Forget the idea of forgetting and remember the real instead. Focusing now on combining all these ideas, beliefs, concepts and install them unconsciously as your new belief system, your new operating system, because the mind, your mind, it already knows how to change, even when it pretends it doesn't. Like when a caterpillar forgets it's crawling and wakes up flying. And sometimes a person can say, I feel ugly. What they're really feeling is unprocessed power, unpolished light, undiscovered uniqueness, unloved love. And there's a shift that begins not with a thought, but with a sensation, a slight movement in the chest, the kind that whispers, I'm more than this reflection. Now I want you to imagine someone who used to feel exactly as you once did, empty, ugly, invisible. They believed it once deeply, repeatedly, until they didn't. Until something strange happened. They noticed a tree, gnarled, bent, twisted, and thought, God, it's beautiful. And suddenly, wait, if that can be beautiful, then what else have I been wrong about? Because beauty was never about symmetry, it was about energy. And energy is magnetic, energy is contagious, energy can be rewired. And you're the architect now. You're building something, so ask yourself, what does someone who believes they're radiant do differently? Do they breathe deeper? Do they walk taller? Do they smile like their skin is sunlight? Yes, and more. They practice self-care, not as compensation, but celebration. They wake up saying, I'm enough, not as a mantra, as a fact, undeniable, unshakable, because they've stopped outsourcing their self-worth. Because they remember reality is fluid, perception is creation. Now, let's try a loop within a loop. Let this sink in. The moment you believe in your worth, your nervous system starts recalibrating. Each neuron begins coding a new program. A belief update, an upgrade. Because you're always growing. Each experience, whether shame or triumph, teaches you. As the lesson lands, the past becomes irrelevant. Listen, you're not ugly. You're a story that hasn't finished blooming. You're a poem misread by someone who doesn't understand metaphors. You're a symphony in the wrong hands. But now you're the conductor. You're rewriting this. You're no longer the body that felt judged. You're the soul that judges no more. Let me tell you a little story. There once was a girl who hated her nose. She called it big, ugly, crooked. But in a parallel world, an artist sculpted her in marble, called it elegant, called it art, called it truth. And so, which one was real? You tell me. Because people, they don't respond to reality, they respond to belief. When you hold the frame, when you decide to be the one who believes in yourself, the world follows suit. Certainty creates gravity. Confidence is the loudest silence. So let's play with the frame, shall we? Instead of asking, am I beautiful? Ask, what beauty am I hiding from myself today? Ask what part of me needs permission to glow. Ask if my energy shaped mirrors. What would I reflect now? And then reflect it. Because people mirror energy. Because reality is a loop of emotion projected outward. Because every time you smile at the mirror smiles back, eventually. It's just physics, really. You want charisma, certainty, playfulness, generosity. Say less, feel more. Be magnetic, not by trying, but by trusting. Now I wonder how quickly you'll begin noticing your posture shifting, your inner dialogue softening, your reflection warming. Because you're not fixing anything, you're simply remembering who you were before you were told to forget. You might not even know when it began. Maybe it was when you looked in the mirror and winked just once. Maybe it was when you caught someone else admiring the very features that you once cursed. Maybe it was right now. You don't need permission, you don't need validation, you don't need anything except what you already carry. Resilience, self-compassion, presence, radiance. So here's your double bind. Will you remember who you are now because you choose to? Or because you can't help it anymore? Either way, you're waking up. You're rewiring. You're installing a new system where every thought reaffirms, I'm enough, I'm radiant, I'm evolving, I'm love. So as this loops in the unconscious, repeating in echoes and waves, every example teaches a deeper truth. Every metaphor becomes a seed. You might forget what it feels like to feel ugly. Not because you're avoiding it, but because it's irrelevant now. Outdated software, deleted, replaced. The new belief system is online, and you're free.